Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to be putting up my first ever YouTube video. It's been such a long time coming. I've been wanting to do this for such a long time. Had so many different reasons as to why I didn't. I'm so excited that I finally, bitten the bullet and I am here on YouTube. This is my first video, as I said, and it will be on how I created this look that I have on now. So please like, comment and subscribe. Give me your feedback. I'm really interested to know kind of where I can improve, and as well what you'd like to see from me. So as I said, enjoy viewing and see you in my next video.
I begin with a freshly washed and moisturised face. Now moving on to the brows, I normally start by brushing up my brow hairs with a product by Beverly called Gimme Brow. It also helps to add some colour to my brow. I then move on to an eyebrow pencil by Davis, a very inexpensive pencil I purchased in a makeup zone label. So it's around 300 Naira. I just use that pencil to create my brow shape and fill in any sparse spots on my brow. Now using this flat definer brush from Sigma and Nars All Day Luminous foundation in the shade New Orleans, I'm just cleaning up underneath my eyebrow. Now I never go too light underneath my eyebrow, I just don't like that look. So I normally stick to a foundation or a concealer that is either my exact shade or a shade lighter for underneath my brows, and always my exact shade for on top of my brows. Using a small tapered blending brush by Sigma, I blend out all the product, and then I take the Anastasia Beverly Hills Duo brush and I use the angled edge to just blend out the product throughout my eyebrow. I also take it at the beginning of my eyebrow and I tease it out to make the start of the eyebrow look a bit more natural. And if I need to fill in, I just go back and use some pencil. And then finally, I take that small tapered blending brush and I just clean up any excess product that I have to make the eyebrow look as clean as possible and as natural as possible. Now I've primed my eyelid with some foundation and I'm just setting it with a setting powder. Moving on to our eyeshadow. Now I'm using the Morphe 35N palette, and I'm just using this deluxe fluffy crease brush from Crown Brushes to distribute some colour all over my lid. Now this colour from the 35N palette is like a purpley colour, and I love that palette. It's a matte palette and it has great colours, great pigment for my skin tone, great transition shades, great shades for the lid and great shades for the outer V. I call this a simple eyeshadow tutorial because it's just that. I've literally just used one colour all over my lid and I've taken it slightly above my lid as well, so it shows when I open up my eye. And that's all you need to do to create this look. Some days I literally stop at the previous step by just applying the purple eyeshadow. But if you do want to take it up a notch, what you can do, as I'm doing here, is just to add a spot of colour in the centre of the lid, just for a bit more oomph, a bit more pop. So I've just sprayed my brush with some water and I've dipped it into a gold colour from the Makeup Revolution Gold 2, Rose Gold or Sugar Gold, Golden Sugar 2 palette. I finally got there in the end. And I'm just adding that to the centre of the lid. I've then used a darker colour, again from the 35N palette. It's like a purpley, darker purple, to just blend in that gold that I've added and just add a bit more depth to the eyeshadow look. Again, very simple steps using the same brush that I used to apply the purple earlier on in the tutorial, so nothing too complex. Very simple. you want to be more extra, you can add some black, as I have, just very, very close to that gold colour again, just to create a bit more depth for the look. I'm now using a glitter glue. I literally just have used the wand of the glitter glue. I think it's by Ben Nye. Dipped it into this Mix and Blend glitter palette that I have. Just picking up a gold colour that's similar to the gold eyeshadow that I used, and just gently placing that glitter onto that gold eyeshadow, again for a bit more of a pop. Using MAC's 266 liner brush and the AMC Gel Liner from Inglot in number 77, I'm just creating a winged eyeliner look. For my lashes today, I'm using Baller by Kink Lash. I've already applied some duo lash glue to the band of the lashes, and I'm just applying them on now, just on top of my lash line, as close to my lash line as possible. Now, I get a lot of my things from Beauty Kink. I've got my lashes from there and also the lash glue from there, and a lot of my other makeup products that I buy in Nigeria. Using this small blending ball, I'm just priming my skin with Milk of Magnesia. Now, I know everyone has their thoughts on Milk of Magnesia, but I don't use it all the time, only when I'm creating looks that need to last all day. I then move on to add some luminosity to my skin following using that Milk of Magnesia, and I'm just using this e.l.f. illuminator. It's just one universal colour, and I find it's nice underneath my foundation. I'm just applying that to the points that I would normally highlight. So, you know, cheekbones, forehead, nose, cupid's bow, and so on. Now I'm just going in using a fluffy brush from Lottie. Now, I just found this brush in Superdrug, and I just picked it up. I think it was something like £7 maximum, but it's really, really super soft. It has a flat top. It's not too dense, but at the same time, it distributes the colour perfectly across the face. Now, for foundation, I was using Nars All Day Luminous in the shade New Orleans. And to highlight, I'm just using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn. Again, just highlighting the normal points you'd highlight. Now, to blend in my highlight, I use this Real Techniques Face Expert brush. It's my go-to, one of my faves, and I've been using it for years. I love the effect that it gives. Once I finish highlighting, I normally go in and I pick up my foundation brush and just use that to diffuse any harsh lines from the highlighting, and just to blend everything out, just to give the face a more seamless look before contouring. Now, to contour, I use Nars All Day Luminous Foundation in the shade Khartoum. I think that's like the dark shade, and I just contour my forehead, down my nose, and my cheekbones. I don't normally do my jawline. I don't know why, I just don't like the effect, but those are the main places that I contour. Now, at that point, my camera died, so you couldn't get to see me blending in my contour. But after I had blended it out, I wasn't really happy with how my highlight looked. So I went in with a lighter coloured highlighter, still same, still LA Girl, sorry, but I just used the shade Warm Honey instead. Now, what I've moved on to now is my setting powder. Now, I normally just use one coat of setting powder first of all to make sure there aren't any creases before I go in and I bake. So now I'm just adding a bit more of the product and just baking and adding the setting powder to the points of my face that I have highlighted. Now, I always do my under eyes while I'm baking. So I'm just taking a small brush. This is a Real Techniques brush that you got as part of a kit, I think the eye kit. And I'm just taking the Inglot liner, again, the AMC liner that we use to line the top of our lid. And I'm just taking that along my waterline and then taking it down slightly underneath my eye, just to create a bit more drama underneath my eyes. Following that, I then normally take a pencil brush and I just smudge everything out so it's a bit more smoky, a bit more smudged out, and there aren't any harsh lines. Using a small tapered blending brush from e.l.f., I just dust off any of the excess setting powder that I have on my face in all of the highlighted points. I love this brush, it's super fluffy and just gets the job done. Now if I want a bit more intensity underneath my eyes, what I sometimes do is I use the MAC Studio Fix powder and I just apply it to the points that I've highlighted again as well, just as I said, to create a bit more intensity. It creates a bit more of an airbrush finish, which I love. Now to set my cream contour, or my foundation contour, I'm using that same small tapered blending brush by e.l.f. Or actually, hold up, not the exact same one that I used to dust off my excess setting powder. The same brush, but not exactly the same brush that has a product on it, if you understand what I mean. Anyway, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette. Now I had mine custom made years ago, as in I chose the pans from my palette, so I don't actually remember the shade that I chose, so I don't actually know what I'm using, so sorry that's not super helpful, but I love what it does. And for blush, I'm using a palette called Pumpkin, and it's from Sleek Makeup. They have a set of blushes that come in a trio, and this trio is called Pumpkin. I love the effect that it gives. One of my fave blushes of all time. Now just to have my teared up pop, I'm just using a small brush from Sigma. I can't remember the name of this brush, and just applying some glitter gel liner to the tear duct. So yeah, this liner is from Collection 2000, which is sold in Boots in the UK. Now to highlight, I'm using a gold from the Golden Sugar 2 palette by Makeup Revolution, and this highlighter brush that I got from Makeup Addiction Cosmetics, which I love. It's just the perfect shape. It's like a tapered shape, and it picks up the right amount of product, so it's not too much, and it's just giving me a very nice subtle highlight that's wearable and not harsh in natural daylight, which is what I love. I'm just applying it to my cheekbones, also my forehead. I think I've done the tip of my nose and some on my chin as well. Now to line my lips, I'm using MAC's lip liner in Chestnut. Again, the holy grail for me. I think that's the only lip liner I use. Okay, I exaggerate, but one of my go-tos. And I'm using a matte lip today, and I'm using a shade called Euphoria by the brand MUA, which is sold in Superdrugs, again in the UK. Sorry for my Nigerian followers, but it's just a super cheap product, but I love the color payoff and I love what it does. I love the shade. Okay guys, this is the finished look. I hope you like it. It was so much fun creating this look and creating this video. As I said, this is my first ever YouTube video, so I'm super excited to be getting it out. Now, I'm looking forward to your feedback, looking forward to your comments, looking forward to you engaging with me. So please leave your comments and let me know what you think. Until next time, bye.